We're back with another Xiaomi keyboard, but this time it's the legit mechanical kind and is the successor to the Yuemi MK01. So today we check out the Xiaomi Yuemi Pro MK02 mechanical keyboard. Thanks to Banggood.com for providing this keyboard for review, and I'll put the links in the description. Inside the box we get a quick start guide, a wire keycap puller, which is a nice inclusion this time, a white braided USB Type-C cable, a command keycap for Apple users, and finally the keyboard itself with a handy dust cover. Alright, so straight up, this is a real nice looking keyboard. This is available in either black or this white/silver, and as you can see, this is an all aluminium keyboard, so it's packing some decent weight at just a touch over a kilo, and of course has no flex to it. With the MK01 there was an aluminium bottom piece and then a plastic top, but this time the two aluminium pieces are shaped beautifully into this very clean, rounded yet sharp design. So the corners and sides are rounded but the edges are sharp, and in turn makes for somewhat thinnish bezels. It would have been pretty cool if the bezels were a tad thicker and even just completely rounded like the Fox Orange. On the rear we have a USB Type-C port, meaning that we have a removable cable, and again yet another mech moving to USB-C. The bottom is super sleek as well, with just some rubber feet and two flip-up feet that are also rubber tipped. The anodized finish is smooth and looks clean as, and even the little bit of writing it has is very stealthy. Interestingly, there is no Xiaomi branding on the keyboard at all, like a logo or something. It probably says it somewhere in Chinese, but yeah, very clean overall. What does bring the keyboard down a bit for me though, in regards to aesthetics, are the mod and nav cluster keycaps. The font or typeface in this lowercase style just doesn't really fit the keyboard for me, as they're kind of sloppy. The alphas themselves are decent though, they are a bit thick but they are also backlit. There's also inconsistency with the thickness of the legends, some will be quite thin while others are quite thick. The keycaps themselves are made from about 1.1mm thick ABS plastic and are double shot, so the legends are another piece of plastic and will never fade away. It does have a completely standard ANSI layout, so you can replace the keycaps if you want. Underneath the keycaps we have our Cherry MX Red key switches. So like the MK01, this unfortunately only comes with one key switch, being the reds. So this is a light linear key switch having no bump or click. So they're quite loud of course, so it may not be suitable for a quiet environment with people around, and there is a hint of ping but it's not very noticeable. The stabs are decent as well besides the spacebar, which has some pretty bad rattle. It's always the stabs ruining keyboards, but you can shove some lube in there if you want. But yeah, unfortunate that it only comes in one key switch. What ties up the look nicely is that clean white backlighting with just brightness adjustments. But that's all you need really, and I think if you were to change the keycaps to say non-backlit ones, it would act as a nice subtle glow. Some other little things, the caps lock and scroll lock buttons actually light up brighter when activated. FN plus Windows will lock the Windows key, and FN plus F12 will switch between Windows and Mac mode. So you can use that extra keycap that came in the box and switch around the bottom row, although it only comes with the one command keycap. An improvement over the last one is that it now has full N key rollover, so I can press all the keys simultaneously. Another thing with this keyboard is that there is no media controls or any secondary functions and stuff, so what you see is what you get. To take the keyboard apart, there's a couple of Torx head screws under the keycaps. And here we can actually see how this is constructed. It's comprised of just two solid aluminium pieces. The bottom piece basically just closes the keyboard off, and in order for the keyboard to be actually screwed in, it has this plastic piece which even has cutouts for the switches. Honestly, it's quite a nice piece to look at. And then the top piece is a solid piece of aluminium that has been CNC milled, and that includes the plate as well being integrated, so this makes for a super solid construction as it's pretty much all one piece. The PCB is clean and yeah, not much to look at here. Unfortunately, they are using 3mm through-hole LEDs for the backlighting, so if you do want to switch out the key switches, it does make them that much more difficult to desolder, which annoys me because I would have loved to chuck in some new key switches because it is a really nice board. Overall, this is a stunner of a keyboard to come from a company that don't even specialize in mechanical keyboards, but that's also where they don't pay attention to some things, like being only available in one key switch isn't great, especially since it's just MX Red. I feel that the keycaps could have been refined a bit more to really tie up the whole thing, and for a premium keyboard you gotta have proper stabilizers. But this thing is an absolute beauty. The design is sleek and elegant in this beautifully finished full aluminium enclosure. The white backlighting fits it perfectly. I think the 10 keyless form factor is a good size to cover most people, and it's the type of keyboard that can fit into any environment. What it comes down to in the end is price. It's a pretty expensive board in the pre-built market, but the fantastic build more than warrants that. For me, it's tough spending that much if you don't particularly care for MX Reds, but looking at the market, you don't often see full aluminium TKL boards unless they're a custom, which will cost a load more, so it really does have its place in the market. If I can be bothered, I'd love to chuck in some nicer switches in there and perhaps some different keycaps, and it really would be something amazing. Thanks to Banggood.com for providing this keyboard for review and for their continued support, and I'll put the links in the description if you want to check it out.